An entire city vanished in one single morning. Not from war, not from famine, but from the sky itself. Stones fell like rain. The ground flipped upside down, and by sunrise, 5 cities that once stood proud were gone forever. This is one of the most terrifying true stories in religious history. And today you're going to hear exactly what happened, why it happened, and what it means for you right now in 2026. Stick around because the ending of this story will genuinely shock you. Before we go further, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this channel breaks down powerful true stories from history and scripture every single week. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Who was Prophet Lut? Lut, known in the Bible as Lot, was a nephew of Prophet Ibrahim, or Abraham. He was the son of Ibrahim's brother Haran. And the 2 men traveled together from Mesopotamia toward Canaan before eventually settling in different regions. Lut was chosen by God as a prophet, sent specifically to warn the people of a group of cities about the direction their society had taken. He wasn't a stranger threatening them. He lived among them and genuinely cared about their fate. The cities of sin. The main city was called Sodom, and it stood alongside 4 sister cities near the Dead Sea, including Gomorrah. Together they were known across the ancient world for extreme moral corruption. Historical and religious texts describe widespread violence, highway robbery in broad daylight, and the abuse of travelers and strangers instead of the hospitality that was considered sacred in that culture. According to the Quran, these cities pioneered a form of public sexual vice targeting men that had never been seen among any people before them. Lut himself confronted his people directly about it, asking them how they could commit an immorality no nation before them had ever committed. Lut's warning. For years, Lut pleaded with his people. He warned them again and again to change their ways, to turn back before it was too late. He told them clearly that what they were doing was wrong, not just spiritually, but as basic human beings. But instead of listening, the people mocked him. They laughed at his warnings, and even threatened to throw him and his followers out of the city. Not one single person outside his own household truly believed him. The visitors arrived. One evening, strangers arrived in the city. Lut welcomed them into his home, unaware they were actually angels sent by God in human form. As word spread that remarkably handsome new visitors had arrived, a violent mob gathered outside Lut's house, demanding he hand the guests over. Lut tried desperately to reason with the crowd, pleading with them to leave his guests alone and instead pursue lawful, decent relationships with the women of the land. But the mob refused and pressed hard against the door. The turning point. At that exact moment, the angels revealed their true identity to Lut. They told him the truth. Judgment had already been decided. The cities were going to be destroyed, and he needed to gather his family and leave immediately, before sunrise, without looking back. The escape. Lut moved fast. He woke his household in the middle of the night and led them out of the city under the cover of darkness. He was given one clear instruction. Don't look back, no matter what you hear. His wife did not leave with a clean heart. Tradition holds that she quietly sympathized with her people and had even signaled to the mob that new guests had arrived at Lut's home. When she lingered behind and looked back toward the city, she was struck down along with everyone else who stayed. The destruction, just as the sun rose, had happened. The ground shifted violently. According to Islamic tradition, the angel Jibril lifted the entire land of the 5 cities into the air on the tip of his wing, so high that the angels could hear the dogs barking below, and then turn it completely upside down. What followed was a rain of marked stones falling from the sky. In the biblical account, it's described as fire and sulfur raining down from heaven. Either way, the result was the same. Total, instant devastation. Sodom, Gomorrah, and the surrounding cities were wiped off the map in a matter of moments. Nothing was left standing. What actually happened scientifically? Now here's where this gets genuinely fascinating for 2026. Archaeologists studying the region around the Dead Sea have focused heavily on a site called Tall el Hammam, a Bronze Age city just north of the Dead Sea. A peer-reviewed study found a destruction layer containing shock quartz, melted pottery, and vaporized metals, pointing to temperatures that likely exceeded 2,000 degrees Celsius. Researchers have proposed a cosmic airburst, similar to the Tunguska explosion of 1908, as a possible natural mechanism behind the ancient descriptions of fire and stones falling from the sky. This doesn't erase the spiritual message. If anything, it makes it more chilling, because it suggests the destruction described thousands of years ago may have left behind real, physical fingerprints we're still uncovering today. Why this story still matters. This isn't just an old tale about a punished city. It's a warning that echoes through every generation. It's about what happens when a society completely abandons compassion, decency, and accountability. It's about the fact that one righteous person speaking up, even when ignored, still matters. And it's about the danger of secretly clinging to a life or a mindset you're supposed to be leaving behind. Prophet Lut warned his people for years. Only a handful listened. The rest became a permanent lesson written into history and scripture, a reminder that no city, no matter how powerful, is above consequence. If this story moved you, make sure you're subscribed, because next week we're covering another prophet story that's just as intense. Drop a comment and let me know which story you want covered next. I'll see you in the next video.